You know, we've gotten so good at adding years to our lives. I mean, think about it. Medical science has turned what used to be death sentences into conditions we can just manage. But all that success has created a whole new challenge, a really crucial one, making sure those extra years are actually years we want to live. Okay, let's dive into this.
And this question, this really gets to the heart of it. Yeah, we've extended life, but have we just stretched out the part where we're dealing with decline, with disability, with chronic disease? The whole conversation is shifting now, away from just a number, how long you live, to the quality of those years.
So let's get our terms straight, right? On one side, you've got lifespan. That's the big number, the total count of years you're alive. But on the other side, you've got health span, and that's the number that really matters. It's how many of those years you spend feeling good, active, and independent. The goal isn't just to have a long lifespan, it's to make your health span match it.
But right now, there's a gap, and it's a big one. Globally, the average person spends almost a decade, 9.6 years of their life in poor health. Think about that. We're living longer, sure, but our healthy years just haven't caught up. That's nearly 10 years spent managing disease instead of actually truly living.
And this brings us to what's being called the Great Longevity Paradox. We've pulled off this incredible feat of extending life, but now we're grappling with the fallout. I mean, the number of people over 60 is set to double to 2.1 billion by 2050. Making sure those extra years are healthy ones, that's one of the biggest challenges humanity is facing right now.
And you bet it's a challenge that has sparked a massive global effort. We are talking about a full-on high-tech race with billions and billions of dollars pouring in to crack the code of healthy aging. This is not some fringe science anymore. It is absolutely mainstream.
And what's really wild is how the people leading this charge think about it. At a recent summit with Nobel laureates and biotech CEOs all in one room, they weren't talking about the market for this stuff in dollars. No, they framed it as every single person on the planet, 8 billion people. The scale of the ambition here is just staggering. This quote from Dr. Mahmood Khan just perfectly captures that mindset. He's comparing this massive, collaborative effort to the moonshot. It's not just a business. It's seen as this aspirational, unified quest to solve one of the oldest problems we've ever faced.
And the angles of attack are coming from everywhere. You've got scientists studying creatures like bowhead whales and naked mole rats, trying to figure out their secrets to resisting disease. Then you've got researchers looking at existing drugs, like the GLP-1s used for diabetes, and wondering, hey, could this be the first real health span extending pill? And on a massive scale, projects like Our Future Health in the UK are building gigantic databases with millions of people to spot the absolute earliest signs of disease.
But here's the thing. While this incredible high-tech race is going on, there's another, much quieter factor at play. It's something we often overlook. These invisible threats in our environment that are actively working against our biology.
And there's a name for them: gerontogens. A gerontogen is basically any toxic thing in our environment, from air pollution to chemicals and plastics, that literally speeds up aging inside our cells. These things aren't just passive risks. They are actively pushing our bodies toward age-related decline.
And the link here is alarmingly direct. Things we're all exposed to every single day are pushing the fast-forward button on aging. Tiny particles in the air we breathe, heavy metals, they can actually speed up our biological clock at the genetic level. And now, even newer threats like microplastics are being tied to a higher risk of heart attack and stroke. It's kind of scary.
So, what's the total damage? Well, when you add up the cumulative effect of all these exposures, it is shocking. The loss of healthy life years could be as high as 10 years per person. That's like a massive hidden tax on our health span that most of us don't even know we're paying.
Okay, so you've got the billion-dollar moonshot on one side and these invisible environmental threats on the other. It's easy to feel like our health is just completely out of our hands. But, and this is a huge but, the science is crystal clear on this next point. You, as an individual, have immense power to rewrite your own health story.
And this visual just says it all. We love to blame our genes for things, right? Oh, it runs in the family. But look at this. Our genes only account for about 25% of our longevity. The overwhelming majority, a massive 75%, comes down to our lifestyle and the choices we make. Your DNA is not your destiny, not even close.
So where do you start? Well, experts have pretty much boiled it all down to a simple, powerful framework. The 3 pillars, the absolute foundation of a long and healthy life, are how you move, what you eat, and how you sleep.
Let's start with the big one. Seriously, if you're only going to do one thing, this is it. Across the board, experts agree. Regular physical activity gives you the biggest bang for your buck. It is the most powerful daily habit you can have for improving your longevity, affecting everything from your heart and metabolism to your brain health.
Now let's talk about food. And this quote from Dr. John Kelly, wow. It completely reframes one of the world's biggest killers. To think of heart disease not as something that just happens when you get old, but as a foodborne illness, well, that really highlights just how much control we have through what we put on our plate.
And the numbers? The numbers are just staggering. The advice is simple. More whole, plant-based foods, think Mediterranean diet, and way less processed junk. And the payoff? It's enormous. Good nutrition could help prevent an estimated 80% of heart disease and a whopping 90% of type 2 diabetes cases. That's incredible.
And finally, we get to the pillar that pretty much everyone neglects, sleep. This quote cuts right through the noise. Deep, non-REM sleep isn't just about resting. It is an active biological cleaning process for your brain.
See, your sleep has different phases for different jobs. During that deep, non-REM sleep, it's like a cleanup crew comes in. Your brain literally flushes out metabolic waste and toxins linked to things like Alzheimer's. Then, during REM sleep, your brain is busy processing emotions and locking in new skills. You need both. They're both absolutely critical for a long, healthy life.
So we know what to do, right? Move more, eat better, sleep well. It sounds simple. But this brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the entire puzzle. It's not just about knowing the facts, it's about your mindset.
And this points to a really hard truth. If we know what's good for us, why don't we just do it? For decades, the approach has been to guilt people, to shame them, to try and force them into better habits. And you know what? It just hasn't worked.
The real solution, the thing that actually gets people to change for good, is choice. It's when people feel like they're in the driver's seat. When they have a sense of autonomy and control, that's when they're most likely to adopt and actually stick with healthy behaviors. It's all about empowerment, not force.
And that's what this all boils down to. The science is clear. Your genes are not your destiny. They're just a small part of the story. The rest of the book is written by the thousands of small choices you make day in and day out. The power to shrink that gap between your lifespan and your health span, it is overwhelmingly in your hands. So the only question left is, what are you going to choose?